Sushant Singh Rajput.
Yes. On 14th of June last year, he was found hanging from a building at his Bandra-based residence. What was the cause of his death?
Depression.
Yes. Apparently, he committed. So there were lots of rumors, lots of conspiracy theories, so much of speculations about his death. But lastly, it was concluded that he died of suicide due to depression. It is a mood disorder that can affect a person's daily life. It can be described as feeling of sadness, loss, anger, hopelessness. Depression described as a prison where you are both suffering prisoner and the cruel jailer. Depression can be treated with cognitive behavior therapy, more precisely, talk therapy. In addition to that, antidepressants. Today's class is all about the last bit of it, that is antidepressants. Hello, madam. Good afternoon to my dear juniors and my colleagues. We are going to discuss on antidepressants. Before going into the class, I'll have to make an announcement that please do not leave the class soon after the class is over. Give me 1 minute time so that I can take your attendance. And please, the CR, take the attendance, give me an absentee list. So we are going to discuss on antidepressants are those psychotropic drugs which are used for the treatment of depressive disorders. These have been mood elevators and thymoleptics. Antidepressants are the popular treatment of choice for depression. Psychotropic drugs means any psychiatric its effect on the chemical makeup of the brain and the entire nervous system. What do we mean by thymoleptics? Thymoleptics are those drugs which can modify a antidepressants are used to treat major depressive disorder. Apart from that, some anxiety disorder, chronic pain conditions, migraine, and to help some other addictions. Moving on to the next slide, let's learn about the history of sense. Isoniazid, in short INH, was found to have mood elevating properties in some patients suffering from tuberculosis in 1951, which is a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. It was a derivative of isoniazid. It was found later in 1958, introduced for the treatment. The first tricyclic antidepressant was imipramine, which was used in 1958 by Thomas Kuhn. It was different from which is used to treat serious mental and emotional disorders, including schizophrenia and other psychotic disorders. So this imipramine, it is the first antidepressants, and it is different from the phenothiazine. How? By the replacement of a sulfur group with an ethylene linkage. Your very ethylene linkage, triple bond between the carbon atoms, right? With this small structural difference, which is discovered by chance, imipramine was found not effective as an antipsychotic, but instead quite beneficial in depressed patients. Since 1958, number of been gradually increasing. So common indications: depression, child psychiatric disorders, medical disorders. Depression, it includes wide range of episode, which is also called as major depression, endogenous depression, depressive episode with melancholia, with or without the use of ECT, that is electrocopy, depressive episode with psychotic features with antipsychotics or ECTs, dysthymia, reactive depression, depressive depression, atypical depression, secondary depression, and abnormal grief reaction. To the depressive episode or major depression. We know that depression is caused because of low levels of serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine in your body. What are these transmitters? You are aware what are neurotransmitters? Can anyone please say me? Is my voice audible to all? Can anyone say what?
Neurotransmitters are helps in transmit of nerve impulse.
Yes. So nerve impulse travels in two different ways: electrical transmission and chemical transmission. Electrical transmission axon and chemical transmission from between one neuron to another at the synapse. So these are the types of neurotransmitters: the serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine. At low levels of these neurotransmitters, depression occurs. So major depressive disorder is a clinical depression which is characterized by inability to sleep, eat, enjoy. Maybe of two types, like endogenous or exogenous. Endogenous means where the depression is caused due to biological constitution of the cause of genetics or because of other biological factors. Exogenous depression for those people who develop depression after exposure to certain stress or trauma. Then depressive episode with melancholia, which means feeling of deep sadness. Next is depressed psychotic features. That means along with depression, there is loss of contact with reality. For example, there may be delusions, which means false belief. There may be hallucinations. The patient will be seeing or hearing things which are not present actually. Then we have dysthymia. It's a mild but long term, at least say 2 years, which is characterized by loss of interest in activities, hopelessness, low self esteem, poor appetite, sleep, enthusiasm, and concentration. Next, we have reactive depression. Depression that happens due to response to an external stressor, also called as situational. As seen in the picture itself, the person is depressed after the loss of a loved one. Next, we have marked depression in such clinical symptoms, which is not caused by any organic disorder. Say, for example, there will be body aches, headaches, backache, lack of energy, sleep disturbance, track upset. Then atypical depression. It's a type of major depressive disorder which is characterized certain specific symptoms, say increased appetite, weight gain, sleeplessness, fatigue, weakness, feeling susceptible to rejection, mood to improve if something positive happens in their life. Then is depression because of the secondary cause, called as secondary depression. Means primary cause is something else, but depression is secondary to it. For example, Cushing syndrome, a person who more this is seen in a person who has some pre-existing psychiatric disorder or some life-threatening medical illness, say cancer, will lead to the symptoms of depression. Say, for example, Cushing syndrome or hypothyroidism. Can anyone say what is Cushing syndrome? What is Cushing syndrome?
Cortisol level increases.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Shritam. So in Cushing syndrome, that means high cortisol levels are there. For example, in clients who are taking anti-cancerous drugs like say vincristine and vinblastine, there is of dopamine to norepinephrine, hence depression occurs. So this can be said as an example of secondary depression. Then moving to the next slide, that is abnormal. A person who is stuck in one phase of grief reaction, say at denial phase or at anger phase, they may be prolonged grieving or excessive feelings of guilt. Suppose Mr. B to join him on a road trip. Unfortunately, some road accident occurred and Mr. B lost his life. Now, Mr. A may have feelings of, it will be called as abnormal when he stays at this phase for a prolonged time. Moving to the disorders, first one is enuresis, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, school phobia, separation anxiety, somnambulism, and night terror. Enuresis means bedwetting. Attention deficit hyperactivity. This is characterized by attention difficulty, hyperactivity, impulsiveness. Such children are very much impatient. Suppose they are playing Ludo with others. You know, Ludo, but these children, they cannot wait for their turn. If you snatch the dice away from them, then they will cry, they will show up. Suppose they are listening to a lecture, they are not interested in it. they'll start fidgeting, means they'll become very restless. They'll start tapping their pencil on their desk. They'll do some attention. Suppose an ADHD child is a certain task. He may initially find interest in it. After a few moments, he'll shift his attention from one activity to other. Moving to the next slide, we have school phobia. Everyone must have experienced this in his childhood time. Next is separation anxiety disorder. This is quite normal for kids. Somnambulism. What do we mean by this? Can anyone say?
Night walking.
Yes. Night terrors.
Somnambulism, not night walking, it is sleeping during the sleeping hours.
Thank you, ma'am. So some other includes medical disorders like chronic pain, migraine. Other psychiatric disorders include agoraphobia and social phobia, obsessive compulsive disorder with or without depression, cataplexy, aggression in elderly, eating disorders, borderline trichotillomania, depersonalization syndrome, post-traumatic stress disorder, generalized anxiety disorder. For example, agoraphobia, which means fear of open spaces, obsessive compulsive disorder, which causes repeat sensations, that means obsessions, that makes the patient feel driven to do something repetitively. That means compulsion. For example, repetitively washing hands. Then cataplexy, sometimes a sudden strong emotion such as laughter, fear, anger, stress, excitement may cause a sudden loss of muscle tone, weakness, loss of voluntary muscle control. As we see, the person is gradually becoming weak and falling down. Then aggression in elderly, eating disorders like bulimia, binge eating or pica eating. Borderline personality disorder, you're very aware of this movie. Then trichotillomania. This is a compulsive desire to pull out one's own hairs due to response to a stress or depersonalization syndrome. This is when a person experiences feeling of unreal. She may feel world, disruption in the self-awareness, emotional numbness. Then post-traumatic stress disorder. This is a mental health condition which is triggered by a terrifying event, which is causing flashbacks, nightmares, severe anxiety. So you can predict this clip has been taken. Is it visible to you all? No idea from which movie this clip has been taken? This is from Jolly LLB 2, when Akshay Kumar, he witnessed the trauma girl. She committed suicide. And after that, he started having stress disorder, means post-traumatic stress disorder. He started having nightmares, anxiety. Then certain generalized anxiety disorder, nicotine dependence, alcohol dependence. Moving on to the types of antidepressants. We have 4 major types: selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRI, atypical tricyclic antidepressants, monoamine oxidase inhibitors, MAOI. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor antidepressants, considered as first line of therapy for treating depression. However, FDA, that is Food and Drug Administration, recommends a black box added to the drug box, stating that selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors can increase the risk of suicidal behavior in depressed children and teenagers. That's a federal agency which is controlling the approval list of drugs. It maintains an orange book which contains approved by it. This is a US-based federal agency. In India also we have a similar agency, that is CDSCO, Central Drug Organization. This organization is headed by Drug Controller General of India, that is DCGI. Certain examples to it: Cito 60 mg per day, Paroxetine 10 to 60 mg, Paroxetine 10 to 80 mg per day, Sertraline 25 to 200 mg per day, Fluvoxamine 50 to 300 mg per day. Mechanism of action: it acts by blocking the neuronal uptake of serotonin as a primarily cause due to low levels of three neurotransmitters: serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. So serotonin is a neurotransmitter, Raphe nucleus of the brainstem. Its main function is to modulate mood, cognition, reward, learning, memory, and several other physiological processes. Restriction. Low levels of serotonin can cause depression. SSRI blocks the reuptake of serotonin back into the nerve terminals of the presynaptic neuron. The level of serotonin will increase, and hence depression can be cured. Moving on to the uses, SSRI are used to treat the depression, anxiety. Apart from that, eating disorder, sleep disorder, alcoholism, and schizophrenia can also be treated. Dosages: single dosage may be administered each bedtime. Clients can receive therapeutic response within the first 2 weeks of treatment, but to receive the full benefits of these drugs, it has to be given for 8. Then the contraindications: caution is needed when it is administered along with anticoagulants. Why? Suppose a patient who is suffering from DVT. Can anyone say?
Thrombosis.
Yes, thank you. So DVT stands for deep vein thrombosis. Who is having deep vein thrombosis? That means the patient is already having blood clot in his leg, or a patient who is having pulmonary embolism. That means there is a blood clot in his lungs, or who is having increased risk of heart attack or stroke. Here, to such patients, anticoagulants, that is blood thinners, needs to be given. For example, warfarin. If such a patient depression, and SSRIs are given to such patient to treat depression, then what will happen? SSRI will reduce the metabolism. Therefore, it enhances the warfarin's coagulant effect. So the doctors need to decide accordingly. Means if the patient is already on blood thinner, say warfarin, what should be the desired range of so they will decide the range of the medication, what should be given, what is the safe limit of the medication that can be given safely to the patient. Because if full dose here to such patients, then this patient will be more prone to bleeding. Then caution is needed when sertraline is co-administered. Pymoside is an antipsychotic drug. Why? Pymoside is an antipsychotic drug. It has got a very narrow therapeutic index between per day. So studies show that co-administering SSRI with pymoside can increase the plasma concentration level of pymoside, which can lead to its toxicity, characterized by hypotension, EPS, QT interval prolongation, ventricular arrhythmia. EPS stands for, can anyone say? EPS stands for extrapyramidal syndrome. These are the side effects or the overdose of antipsychotic drugs include involuntary, uncontrollable drug-induced motor movements. Say, for example, there will be tremors, muscular contract.
So, finally, regarding therapeutic index, ask them regarding that therapeutic window or therapeutic index. Just clear them. If they can't answer, then tell them what is the therapeutic index and therapeutic window.
Yes, ma'am. So can anyone by therapeutic window? Can anyone?
Just clear. Yes, make them clear regarding that therapeutic window because they may not have ideas regarding that.
Therapeutic window, that stage in the blood's plasma level or blood serum level when the desired range of the desired concentration has been achieved. Suppose in 2-3 days medication, the desired range of concentration in the blood serum or say in the blood plasma that has been achieved. So that period is called as therapeutic window. Therapeutic index, that is referred to as therapeutic ratio. It's a quantitative measurement of the relative safety of the drug. It's a comparison on the amount of therapy that causes the therapeutic effect to the amount that causes toxicity. Now I think it's clear. So we were on the third point. Caution is needed when it is administered to a patient who is already on serotonin inhibitor or a serotonin agonist. So we already read that monoamine oxidase inhibitor is a type of antidepressant. So what will happen if a patient who is all taking some other type of antidepressant and he or she is also given this drug? So what will happen? This may lead to over accumulation of serotonin, which is called as serotonin syndrome, which will be characterized by agitation, delirium, restlessness, illusions, incoherence of speech, irritability, incoordination, tremor, seizures, diaphoresis, and tachycardia, hyperthermia, cyanosis, severe respiratory diseases, and even at times coma. Patient on diazepam and alprazolam. Why it needs to be contraindicated here? Because such patients who are already on benzodiazepines like diazepam and alprazolam, if they are SSRI, then studies show that they become highly drowsy, sleepy, and this decreases their breathing rate. What is the normal breathing rate in patients? What is the normal respiration rate in adult human? Can anyone answer?
16 to 20 breaths per minute.
Yes, 12 to 16 breaths per minute. Yes, I got you. So below 12, and tachypnea if it is above 25. And yes, one more major contraindication while giving SSRI is grape juice to such a client should be because grape juice contains some molecules, polyphenol molecules, which interacts with the metabolism of SSRI. As a result, serotonin syndrome can happen. Accumulation of serotonin can occur in the patient's body. Side effects includes nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, dry mouth, insomnia, somnolence means always drowsiness, anorexia, weight loss, sweating, sexual dysfunction, and hyponatremia. When we in nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, obviously there will be loss of sodium, so hyponatremia can occur. Moving to the next class of antidepressants, that is antidepressants. These drugs are used to treat the symptoms of depression such as insomnia, decreased appetite, decreased libido, or the desire for enthusiasm, indecisiveness, difficulty in thinking, concentrating, irritability, feeling of worthlessness, loss of interest in previously interesting activity. This TCA can be given up to 1 year till neurotransmitters return to their normal levels. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for reaching the therapeutic window. Be given for 1 year to achieve the desired results. Means the optimum desired range in the blood plasma is reached in 2 to 3 weeks. Mechanism of action: they block the reuptake of serotonin and norepinephrine in the presynaptic nerve impulse. As a result, these neurotransmitters will increase in the examples: protriptyline 15 to 60 mg per day, nortriptyline 50 to 150 mg per day, desipramine, imipramine, and doxepin 75 to 300 mg per day. As we know, in 1954, imipramine was the first TCA to be and uses to treat depression, agoraphobia, borderline personality disorder, panic attacks, and schizophrenia. Should not be given to pregnant and lactating mother. TCA has got anticholinergic effect. Can anyone explain what is anticholinergic effect on this? Okay, so anticholinergic physiological action of acetylcholine. What is acetylcholine? It is also a neurotransmitter. Yes. So see, we know that our nervous to central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system comprises of the brain, spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system comprises of the nerves which is arising in nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is comprising of the somatic and autonomic nervous system. Somatic, which is invaded to the skeletal muscles, the nervous system, which is in muscles. And autonomic means which is innervated to, which controls the involuntary actions of the body. The autonomic nervous is again having divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic. So, as I said, these are the types of peripheral nervous system. They must be arising from the brain or the spinal cord. So, here you can see that this is a mass of cell. These are called as, these are located on both the sides. Actually, for a description purpose, this has been clarified in that way that one side sympathetic, one side parasympathetic. But this is actually present and symmetrically present. For for clarification process, this has been given in that way so that you can easily understand it. So these are the ganglions. Okay, what do we mean by ganglions? I think the cursor is visible to all. The marked ganglions, these are the aggregation of the cell bodies. These nerve fibers which are situated before the ganglions are called as and the nerve fibers which are located post, means after the ganglion, they are termed as post ganglionic nerve fiber. So in case of post ganglionic fibers are present in both sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. This is clear to you. Now what happens is actually in case system, there is synapse between the presynaptic neuron and the postsynaptic neuron in the ganglia. Here the neurotransmitter involved is, but the one more neurotransmitter is also required when the postsynaptic ganglionic fiber, when it innervates the or any gland. Effector can be anything. It may be a muscle, maybe a gland. So here, what is the neurotransmitter involved? Noradrenaline. But in case of parasympathetic nervous system, we find that the niches involved at the synapse between the pre-ganglionic fiber and the post-ganglionic fiber. So also at the effector level, both are so ACH is the neurotransmitter for ganglionic neuron and post-ganglionic neuron in the parasympathetic nervous system. That means if ACH is inhibited, then the symptoms will appear, which is similar to nervous system. This much is clear to you. Now, what will happen if sympathetic nervous system is stimulated? There will be dry mouth, there will be decreases, will be dilated, hence there will be blurred vision, heart rate will increase, blood pressure will increase, bladder muscles will relax, hence urinary retention will also constrict. Constipation may occur. As a result of this, there may be abdominal distension. Then glaucoma, because of higher, can cause damage to the nerve which is supplied to the eye. Moving back to the previous slide. So there are drugs that can increase the effect of TCA like antihistamine, benzodiazepine, urine alkalizer, example sodium bicarbonate. There are drugs which can decrease the effect of TCA like barbiturate and nicotine. Others due to anticholinergic effect. I explained you what is ACH. What do we mean by anticholinergic effect? Example, insomnia, hypertension, anxiety, dry mouth, blurred vision. Why blurred vision? Because the pupils are dilated. Tachycardia, urine retention, agranul. Can you say what is this? Can anyone say what is this? Agranulocytosis? Is my voice audible to you all?
Yes, you are audible regarding what is granulocytosis, but to sort of clear them regarding that.
See, we have granulocytes in our blood. Please give me 1 second. Yes, sorry for the interruption. Will be of granulocytes in the blood. You know what are granulocytes? These are types of WBC. Jaundice increases in susceptibility to clients with epilepsy. To the next type of antidepressant, that is, these drugs are administered to the clients who do not respond to the use of selective serotonin uptake inhibitors or tricyclic antidepressants. Therefore, the second line therapy. The mechanism of action, it inhibits the reuptake of serotonin, example trazodone, or inhibits the reuptake of norepinephrine and bupropion. Examples: reboxetine 4 to 12 mg per day, 45 mg per day, meprotine 25 mg per day, so 20 to 600 mg per day. Desvenlafaxine 50 to 100 mg per day, venlafaxine 75 to per day, bupropion 200 to 450 mg per day. Certain contraindications associated with this. Vaccine is contraindicated in presence of uncontrolled hypertension because of its potential to increase the blood pressure, since it is inhibit the reuptake of noradrenaline. Bupropion, this is contraindicated in presence of seizure disorders, bulimia, anorexia, trauma, or lack. These drugs are contraindicated in patients who are having heart, liver, kidney impairment. Example, meprotylin, which is contraindicated for those who are having a history of myocarditis. Trazodone can interact with antifungal like ketoconazole or antiviral like ritonavir and indinavir. Can anyone say what is the use of this rivet? These are used to treat HIV. The anticonvulsant like carb. This reduces plasma concentration of trazodone co-administered. So moving on to the sites, due to the mechanism of action, that is inhibition of the reuptake of norepinephrine, trazodone can cause CNS overstimulation. Mirtazapine pyramidal, venlafaxine and trazodone can cause sexual dysfunction. See, when the sympathetic nervous system is activated, there will be ejaculation. But when the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, then that will cause erection. In case of male, I'm talking erection of the parasympathetic nervous system. So bupropion is administered along with SSRI like Flixen, can cause mania and psychosis. Side effects includes dry mouth, GI upset, drowsiness. Moving on to the last one, monoamine oxidase inhibitor. This is prescribed for those clients who resistant depression along with anxiety attacks or phobic attacks. Clients who fail to respond to tricyclic antidepressants or serotonin reuptake, or in clients who are in depressive phase of bipolar disorder. Mechanism of action, as name suggests, it is monoamine oxidase. It will inhibit monoamine oxidase. Monoamine oxidase is an enzyme which is involved in removing the neurotransmitters like norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine. Oxidase inhibitor will inhibit the activity of monoamine oxidase. As a result, neurotransmitters like norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine will be enhanced. Hence, depression will be dosage. This reaches the therapeutic effect in 3 to 4 weeks. That means therapeutic window is achieved in 3 to 4 weeks, and it is given for 6 weeks for results. Then the example: isocarboxacid 10 to 70 mg per day, phenelzine 15 to 90 mg per day, trans-60 to 60 mg per day, and there are certain transdermal patches. They are available in formats other than oral tablets. Transdermal, they will be attached to the skin. It may be in the upper aspect of the chest, as it is seen here in the picture. It may be in the arms also. That area should be free from hair. Okay. Example, selegiline, which gives this medication at a rate of 6 mg per day. Then the caution associated with it: there are drugs that increases the effect of monoamine oxidase inhibitor, anticholinergic, adrenergic, levodopa. So Levodopa is a precursor of dopamine. Contraindications, and that is an antitussive. When given along with monoamine oxidase inhibitor, can cause severe drug interaction. Studies say that there are found severe. Can anyone say what is antitussive?
Cold prevent angiotoxia.
Please say again. I was unable to hear you. Please say again. I was unable to hear you.
Cold करे drugs दिया जाए.
Antitussive is for cough, throat infection. Means cough syrup.
Cough isofine.
And dextromethorphan is present. Other adverse drug interaction includes monoamine oxidase inhibitor. When given along with antihypertensives, there are chances of hypertension. Adverse effects when it is given with meperidine, which is the painkiller. However, if morphine is used as a painkiller instead of meperidine, then the adverse effects will be lesser. When monoamine oxidase inhibitor is given with other paroxetine, fluoxetine, amitriptyline, or bupropion. So what will happen? As I said, there will be an effect. So doctors need to decide the range. What is the safest range that can be administered to the patients? These drugs should not be taken with cheese, banana, beer, caffeine, your dark chocolate, coffee, wine, because these food, they contain tryptophan and tyramine. What are these? These are the amino acids. It can cause disorder, hypertensive crisis. Why? Because see, these food items, they are containing these amino acids, tryptophan and tyramine, will trigger the release of norepinephrine in the body. Hence, blood pressure will be increased. Other side effects include as monoamine oxidase inhibitor. It decreases the breakdown of tyramine and tryptophan, that is the amino acids, as a result of which the levels of the amino acid in the body. This triggers the release of more norepinephrine in the body. That means symptoms similar to that of sympathetic nervous system. Means when the sympathetic nerve, whatever happens in your body, similar thing will happen when the sympathetic nervous system is activated. That time also the blood pressure increases, heart rate increases. There will be peripheral constriction of the means blood vessel constriction. So increased thirst. You must have experienced when some unusual thing happens, the fight and flight response. Now you can relate it. So this triggers the release of more norepinephrine in the body as a crisis will occur. Other common side effects include, excuse me, it includes dry mouth, hypertension, orthostatic hypotension, blood vision because of dilated pupils, urine retention and constipation, for which there will be abdominal distension, arrhythmia, diphoresis. What do we mean?
Excessive.
Yes. So intracerebral hemorrhage and glaucoma can occur. Then refractory, about 20 to 35% of the patients who do not respond to the antidepressant therapy, they are said to be in refractory depression. For this includes poor drug concordance, inadequate dosage, insufficient treatment duration, low plasma antidepressant levels, incorrect diagnosis. Even when these reasons are excluded, still 15 to 20% of the depressed patients who are non-responders or poor responders to the drugs. So what lithium adjuvant can be given or electroconvulsive therapy can be given. So these are the treatment choices, relation or ECT. Moving on to the last part of our class, nurse's responsibility. We need to take sips of water frequently to relieve the dryness of mouth. As I said, because of the antidepressant drugs, the symptoms which is that of the sympathetic nervous system, means when the sympathetic nervous system is activated, whatever are the symptoms or whatever you feel, the same thing will be felt away when the person is on antidepressant drugs. So obviously there will be dryness of mouth. Frequent mouth washes can help. Use of a chewing gum, applying glycerin, these are also helpful. A high fiber diet with increased fluid intake and laxatives. Why? Because constipation can occur. So laxatives can be given to reduce constipation, to get up from the bed chair very slowly. Why? to reduce the chances of orthostatic hypotension. Patient should sit on the edge of the bed for 1 full minute before standing up. Check BP because antidepressants, the major side effect was hypertensive crisis. Check BP before and after given. This is important to measure to prevent falls or other complications resulting from orthostatic hypotension. They may be hypertensive crisis, they may be orthostatic hypotension. Between akathisia and agitation, and inform the physician. Change of drug may be necessary if side effects are severe. What do we mean by akathisia? Must then report promptly if occipital headache, as I said, due to increased blood pressure that may compress the nerves which innervating the eyes. So occipital headache, glaucoma, these are most common the patient can happen. The nausea, vomital symptoms can occur. Instruct patient not hold any medication, means not to take any medication of his own and should not hold with his own. He needs to consult with a physician. Advise the patient to use sunscreen measures such as full sleeves cloth, dark for photosensitive reaction. Teach the importance of drug compliance, side effects of drugs, reporting if too severe, regular follow-ups, give or reduce unfounded fears and anxiety. As we know, PrEP should be avoided to a patient who is already on SSRI. Tyramine-rich foods, they should be avoided the patient who is on MAOI. So this kind of drug compliance, what side effects are there, the nurse needs to educate the person, the patient who is on antidepressants. So MAOI is warned against the danger of ingesting tyramine-rich foods, which can result in hypertensive crisis. So some like beef liver, chicken liver, fermented sausages, dried fish, overripe fruits, chocolates, which contain caffeine, beverages like wine, coffee. According to World Health Organization, India is one of the most depressed countries in the world. Going to see a doctor for depression should be as well as visiting a physician for diabetes, but our society does not allow for it. We have a social stigma attached to it. Following organizations are working in India to treat depression. That is the Mind Research Foundation, AASRA, Demand Center for Wellbeing, Kadabam Center for Wellbeing, Hope Mind Body Clinic, Manipal Hospital. National Depression Screening Day is celebrated on 8th October each year by the World Federation for Mental Health. And find a graph which shows the prevalence of depressive disorders in India by age and sex by NMHS, that means National Mental. Then there are certain tips to prevent depression: avoid stress, exercise, good food, good diet, avoid alcohol and other cigarette and other substance abuse. The best way is talking therapy. Get consulted with your senior. Common triggers. If you're finding there are certain triggering agent in your life, then you should get rid of it. And if you know someone who is having thoughts of suicide, can help. Call 91529 87821. The National Suicide Prevention Helpline is available 24/7. So, any doubts? Okay, so let me conclude the topic. Depression is a common menace affecting more than 260 million people worldwide. A person may feel depressed, maybe because of exogenous causes, or maybe because exogenous causes means there will be some external stressor, some trauma, but endogenous causes includes due to some genetic constitution of or any other biological constitution of the body. So one needs to talk about it. We know WHO, that is World Health Organization, 2017. The theme of World Health Day was depression. Let's talk. We should not attach a social stigma to it. Rather, we should talk about it to learn the symptoms so that we can early diagnose the depression. Low levels of serotonin, norepinephrine cause depression. Serotonin is released from the damping nucleus of the brainstem. Dopamine is released from the substantia nigra, that is from the midbrain, norepinephrine from the sympathetic nervous system. As I said in the diagram, there are many ways to treat the depression, ranging from cognitive behavior therapy, psychodepressants, So now in this class, we have completed on antidepressants. The first tricyclic antidepressant was imipramine. Types of antidepressants, that is SSRI, atypical antidepressant, tricyclic antidepressant, monoamine oxidase inhibitor, reuptake inhibitor. These are the first line of therapy for treating the depression. The mechanism of its action was by blocking the neuronal reuptake of the serotonin, citalopram, sertraline, fluoxetine. Important caution that we need to maintain is when it is co-administered patients who are already thinners, say warfarin, any anticoagulant, or any antipsychotic drugs like say pimozide, serotonin syndrome, if administered along with MAOI or serotonin agonist. So a minimum 14-day clearance should be done before SSRI to a patient who was already on MAOI or serotonin agonist. And most importantly, avoid grape juice because it contains the polyphenol molecules, hyperaccumulation, overaccumulation in the body. Then TCA, that is the tricyclic antidepressant. These are used to treat symptoms of blocks the reuptake of serotonin and norepinephrine. TCA has got anticholinergic equivalent. What is ACH? The function of ACH in by anticholinergic effect. ACH has got, acetylcholine has got muscarinic effect. That means resembles the parasympathetic atypical antidepressants. These are given to those who do not respond to SSRI or TCA. So these are second line therapy. Mechanism of action, reuptake of serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. For example, reboxetine, trazodone, and bupropion. Then monoamine oxidase, these are given to clients who fail to TCA or SSRI. It blocks the monoamine oxidase. Hence, the neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine will not be removed from the body. Hence, depression can be relieved. For example, isocarboxacid and phenelzine. Caution is they should not be banana, beer, or chocolate, all the foods which is containing tryptophan and tyramine-rich amino acids. Okay. Then common caution is having any liver problems, heart problem, bleeding disorder, or the patient is pregnant or lactating, because this will also affect the child. Then special precaution should be taken for elderly adults, the children, and for those who are hypertensive. So also patient should always do lab test like ECG, EEG prior to taking all these antidepressants. Side effects of these antidepressants like dry mouth, GI upset, restlessness, urine retention, constipation, abdominal distension, blurred dilated pupils, sexual dysfunction. As I said, parasympathetic nervous system causes erection of the penis in the male, and sympathetic nervous system causes it. So this is how I cover my topic. Now, if anyone has, should I ask some questions? Can I ask some questions? Which type of antidepressants are the first line of therapy for treating depression? We learned about 4 types of antidepressants: SSRI, atypical, monoamine oxidase inhibitor.
SSRI.
So which one is? Yes, thank you. Which is the first tricyclic antidepressant? First discovered tricyclic antidepressant is
Imipramine.
Yes, thank you. So can anyone see what is serotonin syndrome? What do we mean by serotonin syndrome? See, serotonin syndrome means overaccumulation of serotonin, which is caused when SSRI is given along with an agonist. SSRI stands for what? Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, and serotonin agonist means molecules which are mimicking to that of serotonin. So what will happen? The amount of serotonin in the person's body that will increase. So that without a 40, suppose the patient is already on serotonin agonist or already on MAOI, to such a person, if SSRI is administered before a 14 days clearance, what will happen? There will be serotonin from which will be characterized by delusion, agitation, confusion, seizures, hypertension, tachycardia, even respiratory distress can occur, and which may lead to coma. Then to go for a picture quiz. So look at the picture. What is the odd thing here? Suppose you are the nurse here and you find this is the scenario in the patient's room. Will you think to the patient?
grapes to be avoided.
Yes, because the patient is on citalopram, grapes should be avoided. As I said, citalopram of SSRI, and you can take, if the person if the person is allowed to take grapes or grape juice, then serotonin hyperaccumulation or serotonin syndrome can occur. Next question: what is the treatment of depression? Which antidepressants are used?